A big inning and a big contract extension for Jose Ramirez, the reigning AL Player of the Week. We are joined now by Jose's skipper, Tito, Terry Francona. And first of all, happy early birthday. We know that you have a birthday tomorrow, but this has been an interesting season for you so far, Tito. How would you describe the first couple of weeks of the regular season?
You know, a little bit of a roller coaster. You know, we lost a couple early, then we won 4, then we lost a couple, then we won yesterday. I don't think that that's probably unusual, probably for any team early in the season, especially for a younger team. The one thing I do like the way we've been competing. We haven't been striking out a ton. We've been putting the ball in play, at least giving ourselves a chance. You know, we're going to have to play, we're going to have to play good defense. We're going to have to catch the ball and fight for everything we get on offense. That's our formula. And as long as our guys understand that, at least we give ourselves a chance.
All right, with Terry, of course, Alana and myself, the Ramirez contract, the Indians have lost, the Guardians, sorry, Terry, have lost so many players, Lindor and everything else. It was a nice shot in the arm to keep one of your players there for the long period of time. This is a big-time player. That had to feel good throughout the whole organization and in the clubhouse. Let me get your thoughts on that. Go ahead.
I would say you hit it right on the nose. I mean, besides the fact of what he brings on the field, which is a ton, but just the fact that what the message is sent to our fans, but to the other players in the clubhouse, it gave us a shot in the arm. And that was the last day of spring training. So there was a lot of stuff going on. But then all of a sudden, when you hear that your best player wants to stay in Cleveland, doesn't want to go somewhere else, yeah, that picked everybody up a little bit.
Jose Ramirez, certainly the star of that lineup and a well-earned extension, Tito. But another thing that this club has is its starting pitching strength. Your club's starters ERA is 2.75. I would imagine you've been impressed with what those arms have been able to do so far.
Yeah, and again, we also know that for us to be successful, we're going to have to lean on our starting pitching because we do think they're pretty good. They may not be the hardest throwers in the league, but they can spin the ball. They locate. Bieber yesterday, I thought he was terrific. I don't know if he broke 91 yesterday, but he was terrific. Again, they understand for us to be good, they got to be good. So we got to keep them healthy so they can be productive.
Is Quan the real deal, Terry? What can you tell me about him?
Well, I don't think he's going to hit 450. That's probably not sustainable. I'll tell you what, though, guys, he's got a lot of ingredients that tells you he can be a good hitter. He swings at strikes. He puts the bat on the ball. He uses the whole field. So he's probably going to hit for a higher average than a lot of other guys just because he puts the ball in play and he uses the whole field and he can run a little bit. He's a fun guy to have around, man. It's been fun getting to know him.
And Terry, I love the fact that he said that when he was a kid, he would cry if he struck out. So he doesn't like to cry, so he's going to try not to strike out. And he doesn't strike out a lot. And one thing about your team in general is you have the best contact rate right now amongst all of teams in Major League Baseball. I would imagine you feel pretty proud about that as well.
You know what? And I like that stat. I'm glad you brought it up because we're kind of in an era of baseball where swinging and missing is kind of a given, and it's okay. And our guys like Straw and Hosey and Quan, with 2 strikes, they'll shorten up a little bit and they'll try to hit the ball the other way. And you know what? It's been helping. And I know you hear people say, well, they got lucky, he didn't hit that ball hard. But if you don't hit it, you have no chance. So at least if you put it in play, you got a chance.
Terry, how about the abbreviated spring training and then the flux of games right out of the gate? And the cold weather. You're frozen Cleveland all weekend with the 35 degrees Sunday against San Francisco. Cold games against the White Sox. I'm sure it wasn't 80 and sunny in Kansas City. And this is after, 3 weeks quickie in Goodyear. Interesting start for these teams. Let me get your thoughts on that. Go ahead.
Especially coming out of Arizona where it was so nice and it was so warm. And then you start playing these games and it kind of beats you up physically because it's not just the 9 innings, but it's standing out there in the freezing weather. And both teams have to do it. But I do think it wears on guys. So as it starts to warm up, I think you'll see better baseball from all the teams. It's just something that we have to deal with, being in the Northeast. in April. There's no getting around it. You hope for better weather, but it usually kind of rears its head and you deal with it the best you can.
Terry, you've done everything there is to do in this game. It's hard to believe that you've been managing for 22 seasons, 10 of which are with the Indians, now the Guardians. You didn't have to come back this year. This is a team that is retooling. Why did you?
I wanted the chance to do the job right and to enjoy trying to do it right. That doesn't mean we're not going to have hard days, because we are. But and I've kidded with everybody that I'm wearing 2 shoes this year. Last year and the year before were so hard, walking in a boot to being in the hospital, that to be able to do my job now and not feel so short with patience, or have your temper kind of rear itself. I really wanted the chance to do that, and I hope that I stay healthy enough where I can do this job right, because I care about doing it right, and doing it right, I get a lot of enjoyment out of.
That's a good job by Alana. I was going to go there too. Did you think sometime late last year, Terry, that you were not going to get healthy enough to manage ever again?
I asked Chris and Cherney, I asked the guys towards September if I could have some time to make sure that I wasn't going to shortchange anybody, because I don't think that's fair either. It can't just be about me. When you bail 2 years in a row, that's not a real good feeling, and it's not fair to the organization. And they've gone above and beyond looking out for me. So I just need to make sure I could carry my weight and do my job the way you're supposed to.
Terry, you have nothing if you don't have good health, so that's the most important thing for you. We want to make sure that you continue to stay healthy. And, we lost a great person in Jerry Remy recently, who lost his battle with cancer. And the Boston Red Sox, of course, honoring Jerry last night at Fenway. I was wondering if you had any memories of Jerry, anything that you wanted to share with us.
Oh, Alana, so many memories. I mean, Rem would come down and sit outside my office door every day before the media. I was texting with him about 10 days before he died, and I just wanted to check on him because I knew he wasn't doing very well. Pam Ganley, who works up there, kind of reached out to me and said, hey, Rem's having a tough time. But he sent me the nicest text, and, hey, I'm struggling, but I'm not quitting. And then, 10, 11 days later, he died. Rem touched everybody. I mean, when you watch him do a game, it was literally like watching somebody sitting in their living room or in a bar talking about baseball. He's so easy to like, and it wasn't just me, it's everybody.
100%, and the Red Sox did a very good job. And Yaz made sure he got to Fenway yesterday, and he doesn't do that for everybody, so great for him. How about the rules so far, Terry, this year? You played a real live doubleheader yesterday, 9-inning doubleheader, which I like. I know a lot of managers don't. I like, and I know a lot of people still don't like this 10th inning scenario with a man on second base. Managers like that too. Let me get your thoughts on those two. Go ahead.
A good question, Chris. I'm okay with the starting runner on second. I know it looks a little gimmicky, but when you play a 14, 15, 16 inning game, it usually costs a couple players jobs. And I don't know how good I feel about that. As far as the 9-inning doubleheaders, I personally think it's kind of a big ask early in the season when you have a 3.5-week spring training. But the rules are the rules, so you do the best you can. I know I was talking to Tony La Russa about it a couple of days ago. I think he kind of felt the same way. And I don't want to speak for him, but it's a big ask early in the year just because guys aren't stretched out.
Don't disappear, Terry. Check in every now and then. Your team will be in the mix. You know that, with you managing and with that pitching. Thanks for a few minutes. Stay healthy. Appreciate you coming on today.
Oh, guys, I enjoyed it. Have a good day. See you.